Good morning, my lovely students. How are you today? Hope you are fine. Today, we will start with a new story. So please focus with me and listen carefully. The name of our story is Peter's Chair. Peter's Chair. The name of our story is Peter's Chair. Now, this is a picture from our story. Okay, look at this picture. Now, by using this picture and the title, who can guess our story is talking about what? Focus here, Peter's chair. And also look at this picture and think, our story is talking about what? Who can tell me? Great. Yeah, maybe chair, excellent. What else? Great, my lovely students. Now, let's discuss the author name and the genre. I told you that the name of our story is Peter's Chair. The author name is Ezra Jack Keats, and the genre is realistic fiction. The genre is realistic fiction. I think all of you know what's the meaning of realistic fiction because this is not the first time we take realistic fiction. Now, what's the meaning of realistic fiction? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Great, my lovely students. So it's a story could be happen in a real life, could be happen in a real life, but it isn't happen. Okay, so I told you that the genre is realistic fiction. The meaning of that could be happen in a real life, could be happen in a real life, but it isn't. Now let's watch this video about realistic fiction, then we will complete.
Realistic fiction writing for kids. Episode 1. What is it?
Realistic fiction is a genre or type of writing. Realistic means that something seems real. Fiction means stories that are not real. So realistic fiction is a type of writing that seems like it could be real, but it isn't. The things that happen in the story could really happen though. In realistic fiction stories, the characters seem like they could be real people or animals, but they usually aren't. That means no vampires or superheroes, just regular people. The same is true for the setting. A realistic fiction story wouldn't take place on the moon because that's not realistic. It may take place in a park or at a school. The events that happen in the story are also realistic. The problems that the characters face are real problems that could really happen to real people. So when we write realistic fiction, we use our imagination to create stories that haven't actually happened, but they could. Are you ready to start writing your own realistic fiction story? Check out episode 2.
Okay, so I told you that the genre is realistic fiction. The meaning of that could be happen in a real life, but it isn't. From this video, we can understand that realistic fiction or the story contains what? Characters, setting, and events, right? Okay. I think we took a story before and the genre was also realistic fiction. Who can tell me the name of the story? And the genre also was realistic fiction. Maybe this photo can help you. Great, great. A place to play story. Excellent, my lovely students. Now, today we will talk about the skill theme. Today the skill is theme. The skill is theme. What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that? The skill is theme. The meaning of that the message or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. So the meaning of theme is the message or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. So from this story, there is a message or lesson that we will get it when we finish this story. Also, you can ask yourself, what did the characters learn? What did the characters learn? Also, how did the characters grow? So I told you that the theme is the message or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. Now, let's see some examples of theme. Courage. Look at this picture. We can learn from this picture a courage. So the lesson that we can get it from this picture, the courage. We can say he is courageous, right? Okay. The second example of theme is loyalty. Loyalty. Now look at this picture. We can understand or we can take from this picture a loyalty message or a loyalty lesson. So we can learn from this picture a loyalty, right? Great. Now let's see another example. Honesty. Honesty. Look at this picture. We can learn from this picture the honesty. Look at him. He doesn't look at her, right? So we can say he is honest. He is honest. So we can learn from this picture the honesty. Okay, we can say the honesty is the theme. We can get it from this picture. The fourth one, sorry. Hope. Look at this picture. Hope. So we can get from this picture the hope. We can learn this message, the hope. So the meaning of theme is the message or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. Okay. Also love. Look at this picture. Maybe from some stories we can learn love. Look at this picture. Equality. Equality. Look at this picture. We can know from this picture the equality. She's equal with him, right? Okay, so the lesson that we can get it or the message, we can call it what? The theme. Okay. What else? Friendship. Look at this picture. We can get from this picture the friendship theme. So the theme in this picture is friendship. The last one is hard work. Hard work. Look at this picture. Okay, so from this picture the message that we can get it or the lesson that we can get it is hard work. So repeat again, the meaning of theme is the message or lesson that the author wants you to take away from the story. Like what? Friendship, hard work, love, equality, courage, and honesty. Okay, so we call these theme examples, right? Okay, now let's discuss the vocabs. The first one is picture. What's the meaning of picture? The meaning of picture is image. The meaning of picture is image. Repeat after me. The meaning of picture is image. Look at this picture. So I said, look at this picture. So this is a picture. Now, who can put picture in a sentence. You can use maybe this photo or this picture to give me an example. Great. What else? Great, my lovely students. Now let's see my example. This is my family picture. This is my family picture. So the meaning of picture is image. Thought. What's the meaning of thought? Past of think, a way of thinking. So the meaning of thought is past of think or a way of thinking. Past of think. Focus here. Past of think. Now look at this picture. What she's doing? She is thinking. So the meaning of thought is past of think. Past of think. Now who can put it in a sentence? Maybe you can use also this picture to give me an example. Great. What else? Who can tell me? Great, my lovely students. I thought my mom will spend lots of time with me. I thought my mom will spend lots of time with me. So the meaning of thought is past of think. Great. Okay. Room. What's the meaning of room? Chamber. The meaning of room is chamber. The meaning of room is chamber. Look at this picture. What can you see here? Yeah, it's a room. Now, who can put room in a sentence? Amazing. Great, my lovely students. So, this is my bedroom. This is my bedroom. Now remember. What's the meaning of remember? Recall. The meaning of remember is recall. The meaning of remember is recall. Now, who can put it in a sentence? Remember. The meaning of remember is recall. Who can put it in a sentence? Okay, now this is the dad. He is the father of this person, and the son told his father that I remember this story, my dad. I remember this story, my dad. So the meaning of remember is recall. The last one is stood. What's the meaning of stood? Past of stand or to rise the one's feet. So focus here. Past of stand, to stand up. To stand up. It's very easy. Stood, it's past of stand. Now who can put it in a sentence? Past of stand. Who can put it in a sentence? Great. What else? Great, my lovely students. He stood as close to him as he could. He stood as close to him as he could. So the meaning of stood is past of stand. Now let's listen to the story, then we will complete.
Peter's Chair. Written and illustrated by Ezra Jack Keats. Peter stretched as high as he could. There, his tall building was finished. Crash! Down it came. Shh! Called his mother. You'll have to play more quietly. Remember, we have a new baby in the house. Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle.
It's my cradle, he thought. And they painted it pink. Hi, Peter, said his father. Would you like to help paint Sister's high chair? It's my high chair, whispered Peter. He saw his crib and muttered, My crib. It's painted pink too. Not far away stood his old chair. They didn't paint that yet, Peter shouted. He picked it up and ran to his room. Let's run away, Willie, he said. Peter filled a shopping bag with cookies and dog biscuits. We'll take my blue chair, my toy crocodile, and the picture of me when I was a baby. Willie got his bone. They went outside and stood in front of his house. This is a good place, said Peter. He arranged his things very nicely and decided to sit in his chair for a while. But he couldn't fit in the chair. He was too big. His mother came to the window and called, Won't you come back to us, Peter dear? We have something very special for lunch. Peter and Willie made believe they didn't hear. But Peter got an idea. Soon his mother saw signs that Peter was home. That rascal is hiding behind the curtain, she said happily. She moved the curtain away, but he wasn't there. Here I am, shouted Peter. Peter sat in a grown-up chair. His father sat next to him. Daddy, said Peter, let's paint the little chair pink for Susie. And they did.
Now, let's summarize our story. I told you before that the name of our story is Peter's Chair. Okay. Now, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures. By using these pictures, who can tell me what happens? These pictures can give us some information about our story. So, by using these pictures, guess and tell me what happens. These pictures help you to know what happens, and it helps us to give some information about our story. Look at these pictures and tell me what happens. Great, baby sister, great. What else? Great. Great, my lovely students. So, we know that Peter has baby sister. Peter has baby sister. He has to play more quietly. He has to play more quietly. Look at his mother. He make like shh. So he has to play more quietly. What else? He gives her all his small things like the cradle and the small chair. So we know that Peter has a baby sister, right? He has to play more quietly and he gives his sister all small things like cradle and small chairs, like cradle and the small. Now, by using also these pictures, who can tell me what happens? Who can tell me? First, I told you that Peter has baby sister and he must to be quietly, right? Also, he must give her all the small things like cradle and the chair. Here, what happens? Who can tell me? Great. What else? Great, my lovely students. So his father asks him to come to help him painting the high chair for his sister. His father, look at this picture. His father asks him to come to help him painting the high chair for his sister. Let's see what happened after. Let's see. Now look at this picture and guess what happens. He agrees and paint with his father or no? Who can tell me? Yeah, he feels angry. He takes the chair and stand beside his house. So he feels angry and he takes things and his chair and stands beside his house. So he doesn't want to paint the chair for his sister, right? He feels angry, so he refuses. Now look at this picture. Now look at the second picture. By using this picture, who can tell me what happens? Who can tell me? Look at him. What happens here? Great. Great, my lovely students. When he tries to sit on the chair, he finds that he is what? He is big now. And the chair is so small for him. So when he tries to sit on the chair, he finds that he is big now and the chair is so small for him. It's a nice story, right? Okay. Let's see at the end what happens. Look here. Yeah, they are laughing. What else? He returns back and helps his father to paint the chair pink for his baby sister. So in the end, he returns back and helps his father to paint the chair pink for his baby sister. It's a nice story, right? At the beginning, he has a baby sister. He must give her every small things. After that, his father asks him to come and help him painting the chair, but he refused. Then he knows that the chair is very small. He is very big and he is very big and the chair is very small. In the end, he returns back and helps his father to paint the chair. Now, please, all of you, open Readers and Writer Notebook, page 474. Please bring your Readers and Writer Notebook and open page 474. Read the words in the box. Pick a word to finish each sentence. Write it on the line. The first one is picture. Remember, room, stood, thought, and the last one is thought. Okay. Mom took a of my friends and me. Mom took a picture or remember or room or stood or thought or would. Mom took a picture? Great, my lovely students. We by a tree. We, remember, we room, we stood, we thought, or we would. Who can tell me? Great. We stood by a tree. We stood by a tree. Number 3. The picture was wonderful. The picture was wonderful. Who can tell me? Great. I thought the picture was wonderful. I thought the picture was wonderful. Number 4, I will hang the picture I will hang the picture in my great room. The last one is, it will help me. It will help me what? Remember or what? Remember, great. It will help me remember my friends. Now take 1 minute and write it quickly. If you don't finish, no problem. I will send everything to your mom and you can complete. Now, please, all of you, open page 475. 475. Read the story. Underline the answer to each question. Popcorn is a very old food. People in many lands planted popcorn. They found out something about this corn. Heat would make it pop. Other corns would not pop. The popped corn looked like snowflakes. Some people wore strings of it around their necks or on their heads. These people also ate the popped corn. Other people ate popped corn in a bowl with milk. Look at this picture. What can you see here? Great, popcorn. So who can tell me now? Our story is talking about what? This story, I mean. What is the story all about? It's about popcorn or snowflakes? Who can tell me? Great, popcorn. Now, we know that popcorn is a very old food, right? People in many lands planted popcorn. So people planted popcorn. Heat would make it pop, right? Heat would make it pop. Other corns maybe or would not pop. The popped corn looked like what? It looked like what? Snowflakes. Now, some people wore strings of it around their necks or on their heads. Now, look here. What is the big idea of the story? Long ago, people found many uses for popcorn, or people can wear strings of popped popcorn. I want the main idea, the big idea of this story. What is the big idea? Number 1 or 2? Tell me. Great. Long ago, people found many uses for popcorn. The last one. Why do you think some people wore strings of popcorn? Let's see. Some people wore strings of it around their necks or on their heads. These people also eat popcorn. Other people ate popcorn in a bowl with milk. Let's see. Why do you think some people wore strings of popcorn? They liked the color of the popcorn or they liked the snowflake shape of the popcorn? Who can tell me? Look here. The popcorn looked like what? Snowflakes. So why do you think some people wore strings of popcorn? Number 1 or 2, who can tell me? Great. They like the snowflakes shape of the popcorn. They liked the snowflakes shape of the popcorn. Now take 1 minute please and write everything. I hope you understood everything. Okay, my lovely students, you know that I love you so much and I miss you all. I'm looking forward to see you soon, inshallah. Have a nice day. Bye bye. See you tomorrow, inshallah.